Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video we are taking a look at what I have on my wish list for polish pickup. I wanted to get this up before polish pickup opens tomorrow, Friday the 4th. And if you are unfamiliar with what polish pickup is, it is a polish collaborative between many indie polish makers. There's also other things available. As you can see here, there are hand and nail products like cuticle oils and balms. There are lotions, and then there's also miscellaneous things as well, such as jewelry, bags, keychains, and even pet toys now and again. So there's a lot to look at, all of them by indie makers, which means they are small businesses that you can show your support for by making these purchases. So the theme for this month was dreamscapes, and I had a big wish list, you guys. I had 20 items on my wish list. Now, as you can see here, not everything made it to my official wish list. I don't know how often I've actually shown this to you guys. I guess before I jump too far into it, I will say that what I'm doing this month for my polish pickup wish list is going to be very different from what I've done in the past. I'm going to start with what I had on my wish list and show you what I've crossed off. If it's because I've just changed my mind, I'll let you guys know. If it's because I found a potential dupe or a way that I could replicate the feeling or vibe of the polish, I'll let you guys know that as well. I do have notes on those ones here. I did try to pull up pictures that I could show you guys, but I was having a hard time getting those to cooperate with me from Google even. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to go with the names of the polishes as I have them, or reasons that I did whittle my wish list down. Spoiler, I whittled it down from 20 polishes to 3, and we'll take a look at the ones that I have on my wish list at the end after I go over the ones that I crossed off for various reasons, but hopefully that'll be helpful for other people as well. I know for myself, I am not cutting myself off completely from buying polish, obviously, but I am really trying to rein it in and only buy what I absolutely love and what I can actually afford, because that has been an issue in the past. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at these polishes. So we're going to do a little split screen here and take a look at what I had on my wish list. One of the ones that I did have on my wish list is the First from Beau Revs, which is one half of the Fair Maiden duo that was making polish. They have branched out on their own and are each doing their own polishes now. And this is their first one for polish pickup, called Poison Forest. And this one will sell for $12. Their bottles are 12 ml, and I think you guys can tell why it was on my wish list. It's a beautiful juicy purple. It really caught my attention, and I did see a couple of live swatches of this on YouTube, and it is a beautiful polish. But what made me ultimately decide to not get this one is it's not the most incredibly unique purple polish, and I do have a ton of purple polishes. So like I said, I am trying to be more ruthless about which polishes I don't get. So this one unfortunately didn't make the cut, but as you can see, it is a really beautiful polish. The tone of that purple is stunning. There is this gorgeous shimmer that runs throughout. It is described as a deep plum purple with iridescent shifting shimmer, aqua blue, magenta, and hollow glitter. So it is a really beautiful polish. Some of the swatchers also mentioned that the formula is really good, but I will have to try them some other time because that one did not ultimately make my wish list. Another one that actually is one that I cut very recently and forgot to initially add to my wish list on this browser is from Cupcake Polish, and this one is Vibe Like That. And this one will sell for $13. It comes in a 15 ml bottle and is inspired by the dreamy canoe scene from Taylor Swift's Karma, featuring Ice Spice music video, and is described as a lavender-based nail polish filled with red to gold shifting aurora shimmer and reflective glitter. So this is another instance where it is a purple polish, and you know I love those. It is a stunning color. Again, I did see this one swatched live. Ultimately though, I just feel like I do have a lot of these shimmer type polishes. I know I have a lot of them. This one also has reflective glitter, which I do like as well, but I just overall felt like if I can cut another polish, I might as well. And even though this is pretty, I felt like I could cut it and not feel like I was going to kick myself later. I was asking myself 3 questions as I was going through my wish list. I was asking, is it unique in my collection? The second question is, would I wear it if I had it right now? And that's where this one basically didn't get to stay on my wish list, is because I was not sure if I would. So again, if I was feeling the vibe to cut and just going ahead and cutting another off my wish list, I was going to go with it. So again, that one unfortunately did not make it to my wish list, but it is a beautiful polish. That was Cupcakes Vibe Like That. The next one on my X'd out wish list is from Wildflower Lacquer. This one is called Foxfire. It will sell for $13.50, come in a 15 ml bottle. It was inspired by artwork found on Pinterest and is described as a bright teal base with turquoise undertones and green to blue to purple shifting microflake shimmer. So this is another instance where, of course, it is a beautiful polish. Wildflower Lacquer makes some amazing colors, and this one is really, really pretty. It has a lot of colors that I like. It's got those aquas, those turquoises, and purple at some shifts, which I don't really see any images of offhand, except that I think in some shade, like maybe at this upper corner here, you can sort of kind of start to see it shifting to that purple. So again, while this is a stunning polish, the reason why I didn't end up keeping it on my wish list is I do have an actual foil polish from Emily Damali. I forget what the name of that one is. It's one of their turquoise ones. And there's actually a few that might sort of fall into the same vibe from Emily Damali. As I'm scrolling through my nail polish app again to try to find that foil, I did stumble across Dreamscapes and Vision by Emily Damali, and that one, it is a different finish, but it has a very similar turquoise-esque vibe that you're seeing here. Now, the one from Emily Damali also has holographic glitter in it, so you're going to get a different look on the nail, but it has this similar tone that I really enjoy. It also has a blue shimmer. There's also another one called Say the Word, which has a very similar shift, at least in the images that I could find. It looks about like this, with maybe a slightly brighter turquoise at the face of the nail. So that's another foil effect finish polish that I do have from Emily Damali that I feel sort of fills this void in my collection. So I don't feel like I would be missing out on it. I think the initial polish that I was looking for, however, is a turquoise foil metallic from Emily Damali called Speculation, and that one doesn't really have any shifts, but that was the one that I was initially thinking of when I cut this one from my wish list. I felt like if I was going for a foil look, I was really happy with that one from Emily Damali. But again, those other two that I mentioned, Say the Word and Dreamscapes and Visions, both also sort of fall into the same color category that I feel sort of fill the void in my collection, making it not especially necessary to get this polish since I am on a budget. But it is really pretty. If you don't have anything like this, it is a gorgeous foil look that does have a shimmer and some shifts there. So that was Wildflower Lacquer's Foxfire. The next one that I cut from my wish list is from Watcha called Floating City. This one will sell for $13.50, come in a 10 ml bottle, and it is a magnetic green, blue, purple with pink neon glitter, blue matte hex, and shimmer. So this is one that immediately caught my attention when I saw swatches of it, I think in the spoilers, and I thought it was just gorgeous. Here you have this darker base with the magnetic pole that has just about every single color of the rainbow, as you can see there in the bottle. You've got those oranges and golds, but then on the nail you're seeing the fuchsia to purple to turquoise and blue, so lots of different colors. I also thought that the addition of the matte glitters in here, the pink and what were the other ones, matte blue, were just adorable against this magnetic and pretty unique. So this one hits a mark for being unique. Ultimately though, what made me go ahead and take it off of my wish list is I felt like I have a lot of these multi-chrome magnetic polishes. They are one of the types of polishes that I've been buying for quite some time, so I feel like I could easily at least get the same vibe from this by getting one of my multi-chrome magnetics in a similar shifting pattern, and then adding on top of that one of my matte glitter toppers in a matte pink with matte blue. So those I think are easier to come by. I could also probably even do a pond effect, because oftentimes magnetic polishes are on the sheerer side, so I think I could still get a pretty similar look on the nail by doing that instead of buying this polish. So another axe for this polish. It is really pretty though. If you don't have a lot of magnetic multi-chrome polishes, this is a very beautiful one. That was Watcha's Floating City. The other one that I ended up cutting is from Vapid. This one is Martian Paradise. And sorry, sorry about the different sizes of my windows as I'm trying to balance being able to see my notes and film, so apologies about that. But this one is Vapid's Martian Paradise. It will sell for $13. It will come in a 15 ml bottle and is inspired by a space age paradise and is described as a beautiful berry red base that makes a Martian feel at home while gazing on the horizon, while an intense shifting golden shimmer radiates like the golden hour should. The shimmer is more than just a ray of light, it radiates in copper red and green as well, in fantastic fashion. This polish is sheer upon the first coat and builds to great coverage in 3 coats, while 2 coats gives a brighter base shade and more of a jelly look. So this is one that, again, as with every polish on my wish list, it is a very beautiful polish, and I love the type of shimmer that you can see here in the base. Ultimately, the reason why I did choose to cut this one is it is a red polish, and I just am not sure if I would end up wearing it. It sort of failed on the would I wear if I had it right now. Red is definitely one of those polish categories that I'm still warming up to, but I have managed to keep within the last year or so a number of reds in this berry red lean to them that I really think I might like. So I already have a few that I could look at to sort of fill the void of this color type. Even though the shimmer type that is used in here is absolutely gorgeous, I ultimately decided to go ahead and cut this one again, trying to not buy nearly as much as I have in the past. So another one that did not make the cut, that was Vapid's Martian Paradise. Next up on my X'd out wish list is Sweet and Sour Lacquers, We Live in Our Minds. This one will sell for $13, come in a 15 ml bottle. It is inspired by the purple tree scene in the movie What Dreams May Come and is described as a sheer terracotta crelly base with a gorgeous purple red shimmer. So this one is really pretty. It's sort of a neutral with a twist. Depending on your skin tone, it might pull oranger or pinker, depending of course on the angle of the light as well. That shimmer is going to have some shifts in it as well. And I mean, it is a stunning color. Ultimately though, I did decide that I am just not sure how the terracotta base will actually show up on my skin tone. It might end up being more of a neutral than I would hope for this type of a polish. I think for myself, I would have wanted the base to be a little bit more intense in its orangeness in that terracotta to contrast even more with that shimmer. But again, as with all of these, a beautiful color there. That was Sweet and Sour Lacquers, We Live in Our Minds. The next polish is from Owl Lacquer. This is Knowledge Reclaimed. It will sell for $14, come in a 15 ml bottle, and is inspired by a whimsical world of overgrown libraries and imagination. It is described as a blurple marine base with blue copper red gold glass flake. This color of base is gorgeous. It is this blurply deep periwinkle. They're describing it as this blurply marine color, which is stunning. The flakies are absolutely gorgeous. For this one, ultimately the reason why I decided to cut it is I was going through my app and I discovered that I have Night Owl's Candy Coated, which is pretty similar in concept. Maybe not identical. The flakies, I think, in that one are a slightly different shift and composition. I don't think it has this exact same grouping of flakies in the base, but it is a very similar vibe. It's also possibly a bit more of a lighter shade of a periwinkle, but it is in the blurple family, and I felt like since I do have that polish and they looked very similar when I was looking at the swatch pictures in my phone, so ultimately I felt like if I wanted to wear a polish like this, I do already have something similar enough in my collection with that polish. So that one was Owl Lacquer's Knowledge Reclaimed, and its potential dupe in my collection is Night Owl Lacquer's Candy Coated. Speaking of flakies, the next one is Polished for Days, Interstellar. This one will sell for $13. Come in a 15 ml bottle and is inspired by a galactic dreamscape. It is described as a navy base with a rainbow of mixed size iridescent flakes and a very small sprinkling of silver reflective glitter. So this is another instance where it definitely caught my eye with these amazing flakes and this gorgeous color base. Ultimately though, what I did find, despite how unique I was initially thinking that it might be, again, as I was going through my nail polish app, I noticed that I have a very similar Polished for Days, also from a month of polish pickup, called Carnival Confetti. Again, not exact dead-on dupes. I think the flakes composition is slightly different and the base is also a slightly different tone of a dark blue slash blurple. But again, if I had that one and I didn't have this one, would I miss this one? So again, that's my reasoning for cutting this one. It is gorgeous. I'm sure I would love it, but I do already have a carnival confetti, so I feel like that is similar enough that I don't need this one. So this one is Polished for Days Interstellar. The next one that I cut is from Night Owl Lacquer. This one was Beguiling. It will sell for $13, come in a 15 ml bottle, is inspired by an image of a magical forest full of mushrooms, and is described as a midnight blue filled with glowy violet, fuchsia, orange, gold, green, shifting shimmer, holographic flecks, and black to red multichrome micro flakies. So this is another instance where I actually feel like I have a polish very similar to this in concept from Night Owl Lacquer themselves. I could not find it in my app though, but I feel like it came from maybe the Fandom Flakies box. So I couldn't find it going through my nail polish app, but I do feel like I have something similar to this that has those black to red multichromes with a shifting shimmer. So again, as beautiful as the polish was, I did feel like I could probably find something in my collection to fill this void if I ever felt like wearing a polish like this. So ultimately, this one did not make it to my official wish list, but again, it is absolutely gorgeous. It does have a lot of shifts going on. I love the warmer tone that you're seeing on the edges, and then that deeper sort of a berry fuchsia at the face of the nail. But again, I felt like I could find something with those black to red multichrome flakies in a shimmer base already in my collection, so that one got the axe. That one is Night Owl Lacquer's Beguiling. Next up is one from Kathleen and Co. This is In Another World. It will sell for $13.50, come in a 15 ml bottle. It is inspired by a scene from The Lovely Bones and is described as a light purple base loaded with fuchsia shimmer and hollow flakes. So this one is gorgeous. I really like this kind of a polish. I love the hollow flakies. I love the shimmer. That warmth against this purpley orchid pink is stunning. However, I do have a couple of polishes from Bee's Knees Lacquer, one of which is the Loose Remember. So I do already have something that I feel fits very similarly into my collection as far as the base color, the shift, and of course those gorgeous flakies that I really love. I think I also have a couple other polishes that were like cousins of the Loose Remembers from Bee's Knees Lacquer that also fall into this similar color category. And right around the time that the Loose Remembers comes out from Bee's Knees Lacquer, I remember buying a few in that same color range because I was so impressed with that polish. So as much as I love this one from Kathleen & Co., I do feel like I have a number of polishes in my collection that are similar enough that I don't need to add another one. But it is a gorgeous color. I love this shade of this orchidy, purpley pink. So very pretty, just not on my end-all be-all wish lists. That was Kathleen & Co.'s In Another World. Next up is one from Jen and Berries. This is Depth Perfection, and it will sell for $13.50. It will come in a 12.5 ml bottle and is inspired by an above and below scene of the ocean inside a bottle. A ship floating on the sea looks small compared to the corals and sea life hiding within its depths. It is described as a lagoon blue base with strong rose, orange, green shifty shimmer and a sprinkle of holographic flakes. So for this one, I can't say that I necessarily have something really similar to this in my collection. I just decided that I don't know that I would really reach for this over other polishes in my collection. It is a really pretty color and I love the scattering of those flakies and this tone with that shift, that balance between this green to aqua to this teal with that green to red shimmer is really, really pretty. I just wasn't sure if I would reach for this. So in the end, I did decide to cut this one, even though it is very pretty, but that was Jen and Berry's Depth Perfection. Next up, we have one from Girly Bits. This is Beautiful Illusion. It will sell for $13.50, come in a 15 ml bottle, and is inspired by a dreamy photo that the maker found online. It is described as a sheer base saturated with an intense red gold shifting shimmer and dusted with purple metallic flakes. So for this one, I thought for sure it would stand out in that unique color category. A lot of the swatches that I saw, the swatchers mentioned that it was very unique and a stunning color, and it definitely is. I love these purple flakies. It is one of those things that I don't feel like I see very often in polish. So I was really expecting that this one was going to make it to my long-term wish list. However, when I was scrolling through my nail polish app looking for a different polish, one ran across my screen that I thought reminded me a lot of this polish, and it is Lily Pad Lacquers Is Anyone Out There. Now it isn't a dead-on dupe. Instead of these purple metallic flakies, it has multi-chrome flakies, but this angle especially right here, that is what you see in that Lily Pad Lacquer. You see a sheerer base with that shifting shimmer and a purple flaky. So even though the flakies in Lily Pad Lacquers Is Anyone Out There are the multi-chrome instead of purple metallic, I felt like I would basically get a very similar vibe by just wearing that one, which I also still have yet to wear, instead of purchasing another polish. So in the end, as beautiful of a polish as this is, and as much as I would love to add a polish that has these purple metallic flakies to my collection, I did decide that since I have that Lily Pad lacquer, that I already have something similar enough, at least in vibe, to fill that void. So I did end up cutting the girly bits, but that was a beautiful illusion. Just a few more before we go to my official wish list. The next one is from Ethereal Lacquer, and this is Latte Cloud. It will sell for $13, come in a 15 ml bottle, and is inspired by foamy latte clouds suspended above the fictitious ethereal coffee shop. It is described as a light latte brown base with cool tones and a sheer formula featuring a bright blue to violet shifting shimmer. So this one was immediately on my wish list when I saw the spoilers, because I talked myself out of buying her other coffee polish, which was a very similar vibe, just a deeper tone of brown. So when I saw that this was coming, and it's basically a cousin or half-sister, if you will, of that other one, which I cannot remember what it was called, but it was also something to do with lattes or coffee, I immediately put this one on my wish list. However, as I was seeing swatches of it, ultimately this is what I feel like it would probably look on me. Probably a very sheer, barely there neutral with a blue flash, and I'm just not sure if that's what I'm looking for. I love the blue glow, don't get me wrong, but I wish I would have gotten that other polish that she came out with that had that deeper brown. Now, initially what I had considered doing was just getting this polish anyways and putting it over a brown shade and see if that sort of deepens the tone. But the formula of this does seem, from the live swatches that I saw, to have sort of a milky consistency that I just don't know would work over a brown base. So for that reason, I just decided, you know what, I'll just keep my eyes open for another polish with a blue glowing shimmer and scratch this one off of my wish list. But that is gorgeous. That one was Ethereal Lacquer's Latte Cloud. Next up is one from Dreamland Lacquer, and this is Moon Dew. It will sell for $13, come in a 15 ml bottle, and is inspired by the maker's friend's lock screen, which was a picture of a magical looking plant with deep red veins and iridescent leaves. It is described as an oxblood base, stuffed full of green, blue, violet, shifty shimmer. This is another one that I thought for sure would stay on my wish list. It is beautiful, but ultimately what I decided with this one is I like the concept a little bit better than I love the polish. I like the base more like this, which might be only 2 coats perhaps, where you have this amazing burgundy shade where you can still see the base clearly and then the shimmer. But in a lot of the swatch pictures that I saw and live swatches that I saw, you almost don't even know what the base color is once it's swatched, because it is so jam-packed full of that shimmer, which again is beautiful. But ultimately for myself, I think what I was really looking for was something that would be a bit more obvious that it was a deep oxblood base that was loaded with a shimmer, as opposed to a shimmer that has a jelly base that happens to be burgundy. But I just don't know that it would show up very well on my nails as a burgundy, even though again on at least some swatch pictures you can see it. Because I was hesitating, I decided to go ahead and cut this one from my wish list, because I am, like I said, trying to be ruthless. So that one was Dreamland Lacquer's Moon Dew. Next up is one from Cuticulous, and this is From Another Planet. This one will sell for $14, come in a 15 ml bottle, and is inspired by an AI image Cuticulous created, and the polish is described as a deep teal jelly base with large particle orange, red, gold, green shimmer, green metallic flakes, and silver holographic flakes. So this is another one where it is a stunning, stunning color. I love the inspiration photo. I think that the polish itself has a lot going on that are things that I like to see in polish. It's got the holographic flakies, it's got green metallic flakies, and the color is really pretty. However, I feel like a lot of colors like this, not the polish, but the color, this deeper teal polish, that I feel like I could sort of duplicate this if I layered some polishes in my own collection. So for instance, if I took a teal jelly and layered over it a polish that had a shimmer and a flaky in it, and then layered the teal jelly over it, I could potentially get something that's at least close enough. Because again, I am trying to be ruthless. I don't need to buy every single polish that I want. And again, with this one, I feel like the question that I asked myself of would I wear it if I had it right now, and the answer, because we're still in summer, is a no. I am not feeling these deeper colors. So that's the reason why I ended up cutting this one from my wish list. But again, beautiful color and very cool inspiration pick. And I didn't know that she actually created that image, so that's even cooler. But that one is Cuticulous from Another Planet. And then the last one that I cut from my wish list before I get into my official wish list is from All Mixed Up Lacquers, and this is Nightmare Wrapped in a Daydream. It will sell for $13 and is inspired by a nighttime dusk dreamscape photo, and the polish is described as a dusty purple blue base with intense blue-purple shifting shimmer. So this one actually made it to my wish list because of that intense blue glow. This one I felt like from initial spoiler pictures might be somewhat reminiscent to that coffee polish from Ethereal Lacquer that I had skipped on, but upon closer inspection, the base color isn't quite the same. You do get that amazing blue glow, which I do love, but because it's not exactly the same as the polish, or similar enough, I feel, as the polish that I really did want, which is that Ethereal Coffee Cloud or Latte Cloud, or I think Coffee Cloud maybe, that I talked myself out of. I did decide that if this is something that's on my wish list only because I thought it might be similar to another polish that I really wanted, but upon closer inspection I feel like it's not, there's not really a reason for me to get this. So again, it is beautiful, but I ultimately cut it from my wish list. So that is All Mixed Up Lacquers Nightmare Wrapped in a Daydream. So there we have it, 16 polishes that I cut from my list of 20. Let's go ahead and take a look at my official wish list, the 3 that made it. So here are the 3 that made it. The first one is KB Shimmer's Follow Your Art. It will sell for $12, come in a 15 ml bottle, and is inspired by a computer-generated artwork. It is described as an ultra-shifty multi-chrome nail polish. A bright teal catches your eye and quickly shifts into a cool emerald and rich blue. Deep grape and magenta purple give way to warm gold, and orange tones at extreme angles. Color-shifting flakes pop with pink, fuchsia, red, and orange tones, while a dusting of micro-hollow glitter twinkles against the colorful base. This shade covers well in 2 coats for a dreamlike shade you will have to see to believe. And actually, upon second count, I think I am missing another one of my last minute polishes that I cut. Hang on. And we are, yes. So the last one that was on my wish list that I forgot to add to that list is from Dior Couture. And this one is It Was All a Dream. It will sell for $13.50. Come in a 12 ml bottle, and is inspired by a dreamscape tree art, and is described as a violet green blue multi-chrome magnetic with blue green gold pink copper multi-chrome flakes. So the reason why I remembered this one is because I cut it because I'm getting that KB shimmer. So this one has a very similar description, except this one is a magnetic. It has that multi-chrome base and multi-chrome flakies. But when I was comparing and hemming and hawing about which ones I had on my wish list, if you remember, I did have another magnetic multi-chrome on my wish list from Watcha. I decided that, again, I do have a lot of multi-chrome magnetic polishes in my collection. And if I really wanted to have the flakies in them, I probably could find a flaky topper to add on top of one of my multi-chrome magnetics to get a very similar-ish vibe. Now, again, this is a stunning color, and I mean, look at all the colors that you're seeing. It is a beautiful rainbow in a bottle, but I did ultimately, again, decide that since I am getting that KB shimmer that also is a multi-chrome, just not magnetic, with multi-chrome flakies, that I really only needed to get one or the other. So was I going to get a magnetic with flakies, or was I going to get a non-magnetic with similar flakies? So Ultimately, I did decide to go ahead and cut this one. Again, it is a stunning color, but I just felt like I could only get one multichrome at a time, and the KB Shimmer took it home. But that was Couture's It Was All a Dream. All right, back to the KB Shimmer. This one is a stunning color, and again, it does have those multichrome flakies similar to the ones from Couture. Now, I'm not sure if they're the exact same shift in those flakies, but again, look at the rainbow that you're seeing from this multichrome polish. You've got everything from the teal to purples and pinks, golds and oranges. Very, very beautiful. Multichrome polishes are one of those finishes that I've loved for a really long time. So when I saw that this one had a pretty interesting shift of range that it went through, plus multichrome flakies in it, I knew that this one would stand out among the other polishes that I already had because of those flakies. Now, technically, I could potentially duplicate this as well if I wanted to layer flakies over a multichrome that I have, but I'm just not sure if I have a multichrome with this shift in it, because I mean, again, look at that. I have a lot of multichromes that have a deepened base, so you've got that blackened tone with a shift on top of that. I have a lot of the multichromes that are in a deeper blue or a turquoise, but this right here, this teal with the purple and the fuchsia, that I feel is pretty unique. And especially when we go back to this shift rainbow collage, I mean, that is a lot of really beautiful colors that it goes into. So because of that reason, it did make it to my wish list. I'm just not sure if I have a multichrome like this, and I did attempt to look, but I have over 500 multichromes in my collection, and I could not find one similar to this without going through that entire list. But that one made it to my official wish list. That was KB Shimmer's Follow Your Art. The next one was a must from the start. This is Sassy Sauce Polish, That's What C Said. This will sell for $13, come in a 15 ml bottle, and is inspired by a photo of an ocean scape. It is described as a burnt orange creamy base with a strong blue-violet glowy shimmer that bounces off the background. Now, this one, like I said, was a must from the very beginning, and I think you can see why. That is gorgeous. This intense, almost neon-ish burnt orange is amazing. I love oranges, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it before. When you mix pinks or blues, maybe I've mentioned it with pinks, but when you mix blues with oranges as well, that really just catches my attention. There is something about it that I just find so appealing, and I love the glow look of this. It looks like it is a larger particle in that orange. Here's how it would look in different lighting, and you can still see that shimmer quite beautifully. You've got that pinky, purpley, blue glow in the orange. Again, just such a stunning color combination. So this one was a must, like I said, right from the very start. I also saw one of the girls swatch this on her polish pickup video over black. That was on the Polished Mages channel. She swatched this over black, and it looked incredible. Loved how it ended up looking. I am going to have to probably try that when I get this home, because this is definitely coming home with me. I, again, love this combination. I feel like this is really, really unique. This one is on my wish list. It is staying there. It is coming home with me. That one is Sassy Sauce Polish, That's What C Said. And the last of 3 polishes on my wish list this month is from Bluebird Lacquer. This is Rollin' with Mychromies. It will sell for $13, come in a 15 ml bottle. It is inspired by Technicolored Lucid Dreams and is described as a sky blue jelly base with a rainbow mix of large particle shifting shimmers that give a sparkly chrome-like finish. So this one in particular made it to the wish list because of that larger particled shimmer. I do have a lot of these squishy blue bases that have a shifting shimmer in them, but none like this that have this finish to them. It also has a more opaque finish than I feel like a lot of the other shimmer polishes in this color range are that I have. And I love this chromy look that it has, this gleam that it takes on the nail. This is another one where I did see it swatched live on a number of people's channels here on YouTube, and it was glorious. The shimmer twinkles beautifully. You have this gleam on the nail right here. You can see that beautiful, that almost icy quality to it, plus all the shifts in that shimmer. It's just a stunning stunning color. Love this type of shimmer. I love anything that glows. So even though I do have a lot in this color range, I don't think I have something in this formula with that chrome effect. So again, made it to my official wish list of only 3. That is Bluebird Lacquers, rolling with Mychromies. So there we have it. That was my wish list and my ex-wish list. Let me know what you thought down below. Is this a format that you'd like to see more often? I know I personally have been wanting to try to at least do some comparisons here and there, or at least point out why I haven't purchased a polish, but I just haven't really stumbled across the right format that works. So if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know down below. If you liked the way I did it this time, you know, minus any flub ups that I did with screen size recordings and all that, feel free to leave constructive criticism down below with a smile, of course, and I will do my best to accommodate. But there we have it, my very small wish list of 3 items. I am trying to stick to a pretty tight budget, like I mentioned, this month and going forward, so we'll see how that goes. If you're new, make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and I will see you in that next one.